Alright, so there's a new shop that's actually quite interesting, even for free-to-play players, that I think many people should actually check out. And I think a lot of the things free-to-plays especially shouldn't touch. And yes, it can be considered a whale shop, but just as much as it's helping whales, it will maybe even more drastically help a lot of free-to-plays who maybe want to get back into the game or are missing a couple units. So if you go to the mystery shop, you're going to be able to see, well, in this little like web browser event until the 25th. So for another 6 days, there will be this mystery shop, okay? And it's actually going to have a lot of good stuff. We're going to talk about a lot of the things you'll be able to see in this shop. So, for Black Crystals, you will be able to buy a lot of different items from SSR selection tickets for skill page and mages to anything with gear to gear food to some accessory upgrades. So, we're going to go over like the prices for a lot of the stuff, and you're able to refresh 6 times in a day. And you're able to make a bunch of purchases, okay? And this is obviously a whale account, so they've already made a lot of purchases and a lot that have helped quite a lot. Now, there is a big important factor, I think, to this that people are going to kind of overlook. And let's just talk about it right now. So in Jirieru's video, he shows what exactly the SSR selection ticket gives. So if we check, these are some of the things he saw in his shop. So some stamina, which overall, like you're getting almost 2 stamina for 1 crystal. And if we check it out, just to see how true or how much better it is than normal, here you're getting 30 for 80, but that's the one-time thing. So let's say I buy this, then it becomes 60 for 80. So this 1 for 2 basically is pretty decent, but overall shouldn't be touched. Same thing for the normal gear, substat changing stones shouldn't be touched. UR accessory summoning chest, if that was LR, maybe, but should not be touched. Same thing for the XP, same thing for the talents. Then we get to the skill page, right? Now, 7,200 for 1 is quite insane. If we try and find it, it's 1,200, 800 for 2, which kind of goes to show how if we see the mage selection ticket is 4,300, they value skill pages more than the mages. It's honestly really interesting to think about that that's how they value it. I don't really get why, because I don't know. I feel like the mages in a lot of cases are more important. But at the same time, I kind of understand it, but it's a bit odd. Now, there's normal enchantment stones, which I think are the green ones for 650, and then rare enchantment is 1,200 for 20. So yeah, that does seem to be the case. So it's really just like the main things that I would recommend like free to place to get is really the mage selection ticket. Now then, there's also this that's very important. How for 10 purples it's 1,200. I think there was a better offer. Let me see. No, there wasn't. I think that's the best thing so far. But what's really crazy is this 5 million Yol for 1,500 crystals. Now, this is mainly a whale thing, but at least whales are now able to get more because I think we were broke for a while, but now, as we can see, we're at 22 million. I don't know how much of an effect this will have on free-to-plays, but I don't think it will be that drastic because in the first place, I mean, they're not going to be farming as much gear. But still, I think this is just a good thing to have if free-to-plays like have extra crystals to spend, right? I don't think this is bad at all, especially with how much saving we've been doing. I really quite like this. Now we get to this. So this selection ticket is actually quite insane. So by the way, thank you again to Jirieru because big shout outs to him. I would not have seen it if it wasn't for him. But you could see, first of all, that there's Raya in it. Now, why is Raya so important? Well, he's actually very good for raid bosses, plural. All the raid bosses, any PvE content that you can nuke in, it's going to be very good. He makes it very swift, very clean, and it's definitely something or someone that people want to get, all right? And let's talk a bit about it. Should you, like, because it's what, 4,300 for it about? I think so. And that honestly is pretty nuts. Because you got to consider, this guy nukes so easily, 15% damage per buff. If there's any type of buff, increased damage. His ult does 300% with the extra attack. He does a lot of damage. You build him on a magic attack build. You put him with buffers that have a lot of buffs. And it's game over. So being able to get him guaranteed for the price that it's at, for the price of, where is it, of 4,320 is insane. You're spending a bit less than 4 multis to get a unit that if you don't have is very good. I talked about it even a bit in my raid video, but it's definitely something you should consider. And second of all, you could get Red Uno. And we know how crazy Red Uno is. Okay, Red Uno is just gonna stay good for a while. All right. If we go to the PvP tier list, we could see even up to here, right? Red Uno, I could even consider him an S plus in some cases, which it's just he's so good, right? Main reason it's his total silence for 2 turns, the ability to apply multiple silences on everyone, reduce their SP, increase your SP a bunch. Okay, it's super strong, multiple silences, and everything that he does is just really good. So for mono red players that don't have him, this is definitely something that should be worth considering to get. Okay, if you have Black Asta and you just want red, you could for sure do that. Those are the only 2 units personally that I would do that for. If you don't have William at this point, I feel like 2 options. Either you wait for half anniversary, which should have William there, or two. I mean, it's just because you would have gotten him for free in Event Arena. But like if you get William or Rill, those are 2 very good options at the moment. But the only 4 I'd really recommend is William, Rill, Raya, or Red Uno. If you don't have them, if you have them, don't touch this SSR Mage Selector. But Raya and I feel like a lot of people maybe do not have them. So just in case if you don't, let me know if you actually don't down below. By the way, I have to like this. Make sure you check it out and like the video. Make sure you actually get them. Right, the shop is really good, and I mean, listen. I think that sure you could say it's kind of bad to have the crystals, right? Like it's a lot of crystals, but the reward is very good. Now my problem with it is really this. Okay, the gold is great, right? The gold is great, but having this restricted to only a week, this is the only week we could get the most amount of gold, and they're locking it behind gold, behind crystals, right? And this sucks because instead of actually doing real improvements to the gold, they are instead doing it in this way so that everyone could technically get it, but it's still 1,500 for 5 million. And then guess how quick that 5 million goes in 2 seconds. Okay, so it's really they gotta fix the gold a bit. I think it definitely presents even more of a problem because at the beginning of this season they did introduce a gold pack if I remember correctly. Where is it? Is there? Yeah, the gold pack right here, which I guess we're not getting. I guess we'll see. But if we look at it, like, I guess technically this gives less because it gives 3 million for 1,800. So wow, I mean that's definitely something. So I think that for sure they need to kind of reconsider a couple things. But besides that, like it's a really good shop, K, and especially like Raya for this boss is definitely something you guys should consider. I mean, not even just this boss, but also Golem boss. Both of them, Raya is very good in. So please consider this. And I mean, hey, let me know what you think of the shop down below, like how much expensive some things are. I think this is bullshit. There's some things in this shop that are very just utter BS, but at the same time, there's a lot of good things, especially the SSR Mage ticket.